I'm gonna do my WWE Survivor Series preview and predictions. We're gonna talk about the matches on the pay-per-view tomorrow night, and we will talk about what happened on SmackDown tonight with the Go Home show. So we'll talk about all the matches, and we will talk about what happened on the show tonight. We got the Women's United Championship Tournament. Bailey and Chelsea Green, the semifinal. Michin. Next week we'll get Naomi and Tiffany Stratton and Alyssa Lopez. I think that could be next week. And then the final taking place on Saturday Night Main Event. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section if y'all want to see more. I'm gonna make this about an hour and 20 minutes. See how long it does. I probably should start making these shorter. I may have to change my video, do some editing. Maybe I could upload the reviews on my PS4 then. Might be a lot more easier. That way y'all can hear me more. But we'll have to wait and see. Now SmackDown is about to be over pretty soon. So alright. Alright, so here's the main event. Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu. Advantage match. I think this is the first time I've ever seen this match. This had to be the first singles match for Jacob Fatu. Why Tiffany Stratton? Actually, wait a minute. I actually want to let you guys hear this. Hold on. Hold on. I wanted you guys to hear the face-to-face segment with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Wait, what? Hold on. We did get Cody Rhodes defeating Carmelo Hayes in a non-time match, though pretty good. Alright, here we go. Here the face-to-face with Roman Reigns and Punk. What you guys hear it?
That's my tribal chief. Where is it?
CM Punk and Roman Reigns are talking.
Chief.
I want you guys to hear it.
This guy keeps me waiting. It doesn't work for me.
Now, I'm only going to show it once. Roman Reigns and CM Punk are talking right now. Hear the dialogue.
Don't have a whole lot of time.
I'm going to show it again. I just want all my fans to know. Roman Reigns and CM Punk, the face-to-face, they're going to be talking about teaming up at Wargames. Can they coexist? Paul Heyman in the middle. And this is great right here.
Good thing you showed up late. I didn't show up for you. I showed up for Paul Heyman. You're a wise man. That's good. But let's get one thing straight. I don't need your help. I figured you'd feel that way. I don't necessarily want to give you any help at all. I'm not here for you. I'm here for Paul. I'm happy for you guys. I really am. I don't like your tone. I don't like your attitude.
Yeah.
I don't like you. And I damn sure don't want to team with you at Wargames tomorrow night. My tribal chief, Solo has had us in checkmate since the Friday after WrestleMania. If we don't accept his help, over. In all fairness, if you don't help tomorrow night, and Solo turns back Roman Reigns and puts an end to the bloodline, you're next. Solo is going to come after you. All 5 of them are going to come after you, and not just because of this, because Solo knows you're the threat. I say this respectfully to both of you. Divided, we all fall to Solo. United, at best, we survive. You don't like my attitude? I don't care. I don't like you. Doesn't matter. I'm not here for you. I'm here for Paul. You want your little follow back? I want my scalps. I want my revenge for what Solo and his crew did to my friend. If we survive Wargames, you want to revisit this conversation? Just me and you? I'm all ears. One time. One time. One favor. I owe you a favor. No. No, you won't owe me anything. My friend. Our wise man. Will owe you a favor.
What did that mean?
Yes, my tribal chief. What's the favor? My tribal chief. Let's get through Wargames tomorrow night. And then we'll have all the time in the world to talk about it.
Well, damn. Well, it looked like that was it. The segment is now over. Now we can go on. Let's talk about SmackDown. I had to mute the volume. I already showed you this triple threat match, so let's go to the main event with Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso. Hold on. Alright. Here's LA Knight.
Nakamura pairs you with his miss earlier on tonight. How does this affect your status for tomorrow?
So LA Knight was in the birthday segment with Byron Saxton. Oh wait, hold on.
Not gonna go to.
Hold on. Alright, here the match card for Survivor Series. LA Knight defending the US title against Shinsuke Nakamura at Survivor Series tomorrow night. Now the match was what? It was made official just like that, like immediately. Obviously LA Knight gonna retain. This is a nice filler feud for Nakamura. For LA Knight. I mean, Nakamura hadn't been on TV since April. Last time he wrestled on live TV was in April. He lost to Dragunov on the Raw Mania. But on TV since, came back, has a new look, a new character, wearing all black. He had Black Myth now. Now he did attack LA Knight after he beat Andrade and played Black Myth. We could get a screwy finish here where the feud might continue. Or if is LA Knight just gonna get squashed, is he gonna be jobbed out? Is Nakamura gonna get dropped out or squashed? Maybe the feud might continue into Saturday Night main event. It might. Maybe they'll have a stipulation. I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is. To just squash Nakamura, have him job out to LA Knight. Nakamura hadn't been as special in like years in WWE. Obviously, he's not gonna win. He's gonna lose. LA ain't gonna go over. He's the most over guy on SmackDown besides Cody Rhodes. He's over in the mid card. It's a nice filler feud for him. Alright, for the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther defending against Damian Priest. The build had been great. The match had been great. They had a great match at SummerSlam. Obviously, Gunther gonna retain. It should be a great match. They might put this in the middle of the card. I was hoping the match would have a stipulation because it's been very heated based on the brawl that they got. But it's just a regular match. Gunther gonna retain. He's having a great title reign. Just hoping we have some new feuds and some different opponents because Gunther's feud with the same people. He wrestled Randy Orton twice on pay-per-view. He wrestled, now this is the second pay-per-view, he's wrestling Damian Priest. He wrestled Sami Zayn twice. Hopefully after Survivor Series we get some new people. Maybe Seth Rollins. Hopefully. I think they might do that. Saturday Night Event, maybe. So Gunther gonna retain here. Oh wait, my bad. Hold on. Alright, we got Sheamus versus Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser Intercontinental Championship. Now this should be a very great match. This match was beneficial on Monday Night Raw this week because Sheamus interfered in the IC title match with Ludwig and Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker gonna retain. They are clearly setting up the feud between Sheamus and Braun. They're clearly building up that storyline that Sheamus has never held the Intercontinental title. I think Braun Breaker gonna win it. I think we might get Sheamus and Braun for Saturday Night Main Event on December 14th. So I'm going with Braun Breaker. Braun's gonna pin Ludwig. I don't see Sheamus getting pinned. Ludwig will take the pinfall. Ludwig Kaiser, I'm glad he gave him a spot on pay-per-view going after a title. He's also very good. They're really pushing Ludwig as a singles. Should be a great. He's gonna have a great performance. So Braun Breaker gonna retain obviously. Oh wait, hold on a second. Didn't they have the women's? Oh, there we go. The women's war games. Bailey, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae in the women's war games tomorrow night. The pre-show gonna be on at 6. Coming on very early. I'm not sure who's gonna win this match. I think the babyfaces have to go over here. I have a feeling if the babyfaces go over here, then we might get the heel go over in the men's war games. But if the heel go over, if Team Liv goes over, then the babyface will definitely win in the main event. So I don't know who's gonna win it. I'm kind of worried here. It's unpredictable. Now, War Games only makes sense because of the storyline with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. So I think, well, if we're going to be offered television because he still has to recover from her injury, that's legit, then Team Liv has to go over. I think if the heel go over, then maybe the baby faces, the OG bloodline with Roman bloodline will go over in the main event. So I think I'm going to go with the heels. If not, and if the baby faces go over, then maybe Solo bloodline might go over in the main event. Maybe we'll see The Rock showing up. And then we'll see where does his allegiance lie. So here's the main event. The OG bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jay, Sami Zayn, CM Punk, who made return last week, versus Solo bloodline, Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, Jacob Fatu, Bronson Reed, who was also added. This should be a great match. I think I'm looking forward to men than the woman. because of the storyline, the match itself. I can't wait to see all these guys in the ring. What's gonna happen? Are they if if Roman Bloodline go over, which I think they should? I think if Roman Reigns wins with a team, then okay, it's gonna lead to Roman and Solo in a one-on-one match for the Ulafala to see who's the real tribal chief. They may do it as an main event. Hopefully, I think they have to. It just makes sense. If not, and the heel go over, it has to be a screwy finish or something gonna happen. Maybe we'll see The Rock show up and play a factor in this. We are a Survivor Series. Maybe The Rock turns heel and screws over Roman Reigns. We get that there down with those two. He rock bottom Roman Reigns and Solo or Jacob pins Roman. If not, then Roman Bloodline definitely going over. I think they have to go over. Especially CM Punk in the man. Alright, had to hold on. Jay Uso wearing red, kind of.
Crystal clear. I already told Solo. Now I'm telling you, everybody is banned from ringside. That includes you two. All right.
Hold on. We got Jacob Fatu.
Into the ring. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Roman Reigns and the OGs might want to get their white flags ready. That was horrifying. Solo Sikoa has been.
I think there was Solo. I think there was Jacob Fatu's first singles match on SmackDown. It had to be. Now, he had been doing dark matches with Cody Rhodes, but on live television, this was his first match against Jey Uso. His first match on SmackDown. Most of the matches they've been in were tag team and six-man tag. This had to be his first match. I can't remember what other singles match did he have on SmackDown. There might be only one. It was a very good match, a very great performance, dominant win. That's how the show ended. Show ended with the OG Bloodline standing tall. The Bloodline, Solo Bloodline got the advantage. I don't think they have AEW Rampage. No, they don't have Rampage. Alright. Now we can get to well, let's go into Denise Salcedo.
Audiences are loved.
And make him look small.
He's been on
Punk and Roman.
All right, that's the perfect. I think that was probably the best thing you had then all weekend. No, but it's honestly, I hope everyone had a very nice Thanksgiving. I'm in lazy mode already. You know, when it comes to like the holidays and you just want to like lay down and do nothing. That's what I'm in the mood for right now. But I'm like, I gotta work every day. The pro wrestling does not stop. The news keeps on coming. So here we are. And then tomorrow is Survivor Series Wargames. I will be here doing a watch along. And then immediately afterwards, I'm going to be joined by Robin to do the post show. So it's going to be a good time. But I got to tell you, even though I'm feeling lazy, even though I feel like laying down and doing nothing, Robin, SmackDown delivered tonight, especially with our first topic of the day. We're going to get right into it. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, they had a sit down here that I think is getting us wondering, what is this going to look like? Because I think for the most part, all of us here, anybody here with a brain, realize they're going to do CM Punk Roman Reigns at some point because that is a huge, huge money match. Like I can see it already. You know, you got, I would say, heel CM Punk versus babyface Roman Reigns. Robin is what I'm signing up for. I don't know if it's going to happen at WrestleMania. I don't know if it's going to happen at SummerSlam, but it's going to happen at some point in 2025. And today, we got that tease. So I want to start there, Robin. What did you think of this sit down with Roman and Punk?
Well, I think the style of it was very reminiscent of the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns thing that they did on the football field in Georgia. But this almost felt more organic to me because it was within the storyline and within the arena, like not this like, all right, we're meeting here because we need to, square out our business. And I've said it to you before, Denise, but I really believe this. I think Roman Reigns and CM Punk is the most money feud in pro wrestling right now. There's just a certain palpable energy and edge to both guys.
Attitude. They both got attitude.
Exactly. And then with Paul Heyman being the wild card there, the wild card wise man, I like the idea of Heyman siding with Punk, double crossing Roman Reigns, and then seeing how Roman Reigns responds to not having that at his side. Because that's a different side of him than we've seen before. I think that has the most use of any of the potential ways they could go. But regardless, you can just, it was there right away. Proof was in the pudding, if you will, where you put those two guys down, you put a camera there, you film, and you let them go to work because the dynamics were great.
Dude, no, they really were. And that was the big thing that I was going to ask you because I feel the exact same way that you do in that Paul Heyman absolutely needs to turn on Roman Reigns. And here's like the big thing. There was a lot, and it was a very quick sit down. It wasn't as long as the one that they did with Cody. But again, like Robin mentioned, sort of shot in a similar way, but a much shorter, compact version of that. But when there, oh my gosh, there was a bunch. So first of all, the big one though, it's the favor. So the whole gist of this is that Roman Reigns does not want CM Punk to be the fifth guy for the Wargames. However, Paul Heyman said it's kind of been the benefit for both of you guys because, for one, Roman, we need CM Punk here. We're stronger with CM Punk. And Punk, if you're not in this, the bloodline is going to come after you. And so Paul basically said, we're better together, unified. So then CM Punk was like, all right, one time, one favor. And Roman was sort of appalled by that. Like, I owe you a favor? And CM Punk is like, no, our wise man, Paul Heyman, owes me a favor. And so now, with that favor, Robin, I think we can sort of allude to maybe that favor being Paul Heyman aligning with CM Punk because Paul Heyman did not tell Roman what that favor was, even when Roman asked what that favor would be. And I was thinking, like, the other option is like, oh, okay, maybe if Roman Reigns becomes champion again, he gives CM Punk a title shot. Cool, but that doesn't really make sense considering that Roman doesn't have the title right now. So I think that favor is Paul Heyman aligning with CM Punk. Or do you think the favor is something else?
No, I mean, that's a good theory. I'm guessing what's the quid pro quo here? Punk joins the Bloodline team in exchange for Paul Heyman's favor, right? And the fact that Heyman wouldn't reveal it is one to create suspense for us, but also to give us that inclination that it's not exactly something favorable for Roman Reigns, right? So is that paid off right at the end of the match at Wargames? And you notice the word choice from Punk. He said our wise man, right? And Roman's not the kind of guy to take that very well. He's very narcissistic, very selfish, very manipulative. And the idea that Paul Heyman would be anyone else's wise man but his, I'm not sharing no wise man. It's like a kid. Kids don't like to share anything.
Yeah.
I'm always with my kids like, come on, the ice cream is too big for you. Just share it with your brother or sister. So I don't have to buy it. Like,
You swear.
Needs his own wise man.
No, and it was so funny because I had the exact same thought when he said it. When CM Punk said our wise man, I was like, oh, you swear. Roman Reigns ain't going to want to share with you. Like, this is not going to happen. So there was a lot of different, like, little things that they did. That was one of them. The other one that they did was right at the beginning. CM Punk was late to this meeting with Roman Reigns. Think about that. Roman Reigns is the big shot, right? Roman Reigns is the head of the table, the tribal chief. He's the one that walks in late, right? He's the one that makes the fashionable entrance. He's not the one to be sitting there waiting for someone else. So CM Punk, by not showing up on time, basically disrespected Roman Reigns and made him look smaller by wasting his time and then showing up and being like, I don't got much time. Because I would be like, I'm never doing business with this inappropriate a-hole ever again. That's how I would feel. So I thought that CM Punk behaving that way with Roman, I kind of felt like that was him basically saying, like, you're not going to intimidate me. You're not going to stand above me the way that you do Sammy or Jimmy or Jay. We're not like that. I'm not going to stand 5 steps behind you. I'm going to stand either right next to you or right in front of you. Like, that was sort of like the behavior that I got from CM Punk based off of just him showing up late.
And you remember there's a little bit, I don't know if it's might be too strong a word, but there was some stuff between Roman and Punk off screen during Punk's time. The bloodline back together. He needed to call the wise man because the wise man wasn't there. Now they have to go get help from CM Punk, who he really doesn't want to have help from begrudgingly. If then Punk
him as a babyface with Paul Heyman essentially screwing him and aligning with CM Punk, like that's what I want down the line at some point. And then, oh my God, I'm so glad that you mentioned the needle mover thing because I forgot it. And so right now when you mentioned it, it like all came back to me. All of a sudden I saw the Roman Reigns needle mover shirt. Did you remember the needle mover shirt?
I have it, yeah.
You have it?
Yeah.
So like right away, like I completely forgot.
Almost on the dot. So that's the mark. So that's more a commentary I think on him, regardless whether it was AEW, WWE, her awareness or not. It's he can leave that impression where he can be gone. From her perspective, he was gone for what, 11, 13 years?
Yeah. There's a lot of people like that. No, there is. And you see it all the time. And sometimes you forget because, like, it's the same thing. I relate to you in that way, Robin, because all of us, and I'm guessing most of the chat and everybody here, is so invested in the pro wrestling world that we know everything about everything that's going on. I mean, raise up your hand here in the chat. Honestly, honest question. Robin, you can raise up your hand too. Put the chat raising hand emoji if you check the pro wrestling news every single day. Okay, same. I check it like 100 times per day. But there's
I think right. It is a necessity for
even before I was like, doing this job, I would still check the pro wrestling news and see, hey, what is going on? And it's just a thing that you get used to, and it just becomes like a daily habit. And so, but there is a lot of people that are not really like in the loop like that. And I kind of like sometimes it blows my mind. So I'm just like, what the hell? Like, everything else that's going on in like the WWE universe, but not everything else that's going on outside of it. It's so wild. But yeah, we got a lot of people here that are throwing up their hands here. Everyone checks the
I will not treat you bad.
every single day.
We end the storyline. We end this civil war. We end the bloodline civil war once and for all by being solo. But into the bloodline.
I like to tell these people don't have any clue.
What happened after that?
Last night I was talking about
Well, it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to stay with the bloodline or you want to be on your own. When it's the home, it's up to you. I'm not you.
About
I will
pro
not.
wrestling. But I always say this about the documentaries. Like my favorite documentary subject because there is nothing like it, right? It is so uniquely its own for the the political reasons, the performance reasons, the actual athletic reasons that aren't legitimate reasons, like all these various things that get thrown into this one mixture, territorial reasons. But when you're talking about even the rumors and they're constantly eating.
Is Roman versus Punk the biggest non-Rock match in WWE that they can do? I would say yes, Kevin, because I mean there's so much money. Like Robin, you said it. I think you captured the essence of Roman Reigns and CM Punk is that they have that edge. Is that these two guys are legitimate freaking stars, like legit stars, and they both have such hardcore fan bases that when this does implode officially, like when we do get to that build, whether it happens for WrestleMania, whether it happens for SummerSlam, you are going to have very, very passionate fans signing with Roman, signing with CM Punk. And this is one where it's like, I know who Roman Reigns is. I know who CM Punk is. It doesn't matter who you are. You're going to know these guys and you're going to be interested.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty bigger than any match with Brock. Maybe not in the sense of just.
I would say Brock Roman still feels really huge, like very, very huge.
But I don't know if it has the same edge as Punk and Roman. Like
not the same edge, but it has. I don't know what the right word is. It just has the glamour, right?
Anything with the Rock, anything with the Rock is going to be bigger from a just general press.
Yeah, like mainstream. Yeah.
So it's like Empire State of Mind was a huge, massive JP hit. New York, right? Like that's right. But so was PSA, allowing me to introduce myself. My name is Punk, and Punk and Roman feels like PSA to Rock and Roman's Empire State of Mind.
No, I 100% get. I 100% get it. It's like the song that becomes the single that everybody knows and hears on the radio. But then there's that other song on the album that the one that the true hardcore fans are like, this is the fucking
song. And then it gets so popular that it's also a single forever, right? Like, and even if it was never released as a single, it's
yes, and I feel like every fandom, no matter who you're a fan of, no matter who you stand, you've got an example of that. So yes, that's kind of how I see it. And Kevin, I do think that this is one of their biggest possible matches that they can legitimately do. We got Sheldon Jackson here who gifted 5 DWO memberships. Sheldon, thank you so very much. Tell the story. In order to tell a full, thorough story, you've got no. What part are we talking about? Robin, do you remember?
Did they even talk? I thought he came out and gestured for. I don't remember.
It was just his overall. For pointing this out, we got Toby here who says, "This year I'm thankful for my tribal chief." I love it. Toby, thank you so much for the super chat. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, "Robin, do you like MLB?"
That's clean. No, it's dirty. Isn't it like dirty down?
Yeah, I think that Roman has just improved leaps and bounds at like the little things, the little details that he applies to stuff with his facial expressions, with his kind of like he can get very irritable at certain points, and he did that very well in the segment.
I love that about him too, like the because it's essentially a mob boss story, right? And he really plays that calculated version of like you can read his emotions, but he never fully.
Basketball.
Well, let's talk about SmackDown here. How the show opened up. Triple H talked about the New Day, about the journey in WWE for 10 years. Now this is how the show opened up with the women's war game team engaged in out of control brawl. That was the opening of the show, by the way, when we got the brawl. Obviously, this man will open the show, as usual. Nakamura spits Mace, Miss LA Knight, the black LA Knight, not red, black. Tommaso Ciampa gave Gargano 1 week to get it. Ciampa definitely turned heel. I think they will split DIY. They've been a team for over a year. They haven't really done much. It's time for a change. Time for a character change. Ciampa gonna turn heel. He should definitely turn heel, get a singles one, feud with Gargano for a bit. We're gonna see the dark side of Ciampa. It's about time. About time he does something. We had a great promo with Kevin Owens. Great vignette here backstage. Kevin Owens will turn the American Nightmare into a nightmare. This entire vignette was about, Kevin Owens blames Cody Rhodes for helping Roman Reigns at Bad Blood, being a partner at what they did to him, at what him and the Bloodline did at the Royal Rumble in 2021 and in 2023. They were great. Now, they already announced it for Saturday Night's main event. I think the match should have a stipulation, like make it no DQ or no hold barred or Falcon anywhere, based on how heated and personal the feud have been, and how the brawls have been. They didn't have a stipulation. It's not a Survivor Series on Saturday Night's main event. It might be the main event, I'm not sure. We got Cody Rhodes versus Carmelo Hayes in a non-title match. Match was decent, it was pretty good. We saw this match back in April during the draft when they teased it. It kind of sucked that Cody Rhodes is not on Survivor Series. Is he gonna be backstage? Is it gonna be for a cameo or something? That'll be a waste. But he's not on Survivor Series. You don't have time for your WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is like an afterthought on this show. Cody Rhodes was in the middle of the show wrestling a SmackDown Live match, non-title match with Carmelo Hayes. Cody Rhodes is not even a big thing on the show. He's not even important. What's important is the Bloodline Civil War and War Games. What's important was Roman Reigns and CM Punk and Paul Heyman. That was it. Cody Rhodes is not that important. He seems like an afterthought. I look at him as irrelevant. Probably because he's not on Survivor Series. He wasn't really doing that much in this show. Nakamura returns as with a new explosive entrance. Now, I'm sure you guys already heard it earlier in my video. Punk said our white man owes him a favor. Woman's like, I don't like you. Now, this is for the Women United States title tournament. Michin advances. Michin needs to become the first women's champion. You pin Piper Niven. So I think she'll face. Who's he facing? I think it's Bianca. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at it again. Mega 4 will always be there where the goal is at. Jericho 2 defeated Jey Uso tonight in Wargames, so the new Bloodline, solo Bloodline, had the advantage. That was it. It was the go home show. They said that SmackDown was taped. Wargame Kate build 12 o'clock. Is that gonna be 12 in the morning? They go to pre-show at 4 o'clock. How long is the pre-show? Why did it say 4 o'clock? What time is it gonna actually start? Because I'm curious. 10 o'clock. So I guess is the pre-show gonna be like what, 2 hours? 3 hours? I don't know. Why did it happen so early?
Soft drinks are just a.
Are you at a crossroads its journey?
CM Punk. CM Punk was revealed last week as the fifth man on the OG side of Wargames. And people wondering what sense does that really make? To get an explanation for it. And I laid it all out on the podcast this weekend. I laid it all out in the review last week. This was not something where Punk is doing anything for Roman Reigns. This is CM Punk doing a favor to a friend. He's giving Paul Heyman something in exchange for what Paul Heyman asked him. Because Paul Heyman is the one who got put through a table at Madison Square Garden a few months ago by the Bloodline, the new Bloodline. And we know the history between CM Punk and Paul Heyman. That's what this was all about. It's all about a favor to a friend. But how would Roman Reigns respond to this? We got our answer in the sit-down tonight, which was done cinematic style. Very similar to another cinematic segment that we had here on the show last month with Roman Reigns heading into Bad Blood. Although this one, if that was the Michael Bay of cinematic segments for WWE, then I don't know what you would, what director you would use to describe this one.
We'll get into the women's US tournament here because that one has kind of some interesting stuff here. So this is the upgraded bracket, and we ended up getting Lash Legend Robin, who we had talked about a whole lot here on the show. We even talked about her possibly being the one to replace Jade Cargill. And for a second, during this match with her and Michin and Piper, I thought for a second we might actually see Lash Legend win, and she did really good. She even had some really close near falls, but it ended up being Michin that took this all the way. So congratulations to Michin, because she has been doing a very, very good job. Like I had said this before, but 2024, excuse me, was the year of Michin. How did you feel about this tournament, and now seeing where we're at on the bracket here? There's only one more spot to be filled. Who do you think that last spot will be? And do you feel like we're getting closer to knowing who you feel might actually become U.S. Women's Champion?
Yeah, I mean, I think Naomi is going to be that last spot there. And I can see it going. I like the Chelsea Green pick that you've been with the whole time, and I think that's a good outcome. But then also seeing that bracket, a lot of me thinks you could see Bayley and Naomi in the final as well, just the familiarity and everything that goes along with that. I did like the match. I did like, again, killed off last week, and so not able to compete in the U.S. title tournament. So we did find out who the replacement was, although in the end it didn't make a difference. And the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, saw rare singles action on the show tonight. So rare that he is not on the card for Survivor Series tomorrow. It's hard to believe. He was in the Wargames match last year. He was in the main event, not even on the show. Although they may end up doing some kind of a segment. I find it hard to believe we won't get Kevin Owens in some way in Canada on that show. But as of this moment here, we are now less than 24 hours away from Survivor Series. The WWE champion not on the show, but he was on this show tonight. We're going to talk about it. This is your Friday Night SmackDown review for November 29th, 2024. I am the Solomonster. It is Survivor Series Eve. Hope you all had a very happy Thanksgiving, ate a lot of food. The noodle pudding was on point, as it always is. I tweeted out a photo. People asking me all kinds of questions about it. What we're going to do is we need to set some rules.
Your behavior here is unacceptable.
Really just about Bianca and Jade. Bianca and Jade. Well, what about me? What about Naomi? I feel like they could do something like that, and in just that little sentence right there, it made me feel like it's gonna be Naomi.
Yeah, and it's two parallel tracks, right? Because what you just said is spot on, and it is also representative of Naomi's entire career and tenure. So it's like, what about me? Yeah, Bianca and Jade plus Naomi, and then on top of that, she's been around for a long time. She left under the conditions that she left under, so there's a little bit of real life to that. And then she's back and she's just kind of there again. Like everybody likes her, but she's just kind of there again. Like what's the real opportunity for her? So I could see that bitterness and jealousy cocktail being mixed up, which makes her a much more interesting character, to be honest. And she needs that again, that switch to flip.
Twists and turns, debuts and returns at Survivor Series over the years. What I wanted to do here, instead of doing the typical top 10 matches and all that bullshit, I wanted to keep it condensed, and I wanted to come up with a list of what I feel are the 5 biggest moments in Survivor Series history. And so that's what I've done. I've come up with my own top 5 list, ranked 5 all the way up to number 1, and we're going to go through that list later on. So in the meantime, chat amongst yourselves about what you think the list might look like and what your top moments would be in Survivor Series history. And when we get to the end of the review, we will talk about what those moments are. I will reveal to you what the top 5 is. So that'll be fun, so stay tuned for that. Well, let's talk about the show tonight. We had all the members of Team Rhea Ripley in the Wargames match tomorrow night. They came out one by one, including Bayley, who has officially taken the spot of Jade Cargill, who was murdered last week on the show, left for dead by who we don't know. How convenient that Bayley has taken her spot. She no longer has to feel left out because now she's a part of the Wargames match. So they had already revealed Bayley then to be officially part of this team even before the end of the match that we saw on Monday. Because again, this show was taped last week. I didn't look at the spoilers. So I didn't know that they actually had a segment on the show where they just flat out had Bayley out there with everybody. So I had no idea. So I guess it was official before I even knew it was official. Rhea Ripley, who had her face mask on, she has to wrestle with it for now, said that they all have somebody they want to get their hands on in this match. Naomi said that Nia Jackson, her
when we're sitting here talking about the CM Punk Roman Reigns feud, it's going to be huge. But as for Thanksgiving, I had a lovely time. Went to my aunt's house. They always cook very delicious food. It was so fun just to be there with the kids and just everybody. It was very, very nice and very relaxing day. And then today I did some Black Friday shopping. I went to Target. I went to go get myself my Taylor Swift Eras book. I was very happy. Got that. Got the anthology vinyl as well. And then I went to Michael's and I did some Christmas shopping. So yeah, I was all over the place today, Robin. What about you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been Black Friday shopping.
I do mostly like virtually online,
Yeah,
but
man.
today I went primarily for the Taylor Swift book.
I guess it's like with the way like people spam you with promos and stuff all the time online. I don't know if I can tell the difference between Black Friday and every other day.
That's the secret, right? I was just saying today, the secret to Black Friday shopping, because a lot of sales, they're scams, guys. Like they're scamming people. And I know this because I worked in retail for like 10 years, where a lot of these sales really aren't sales. So the secret is whatever products or brands you're into or whatever you're interested in buying, know the price and know what the prices are like.
How do you define?
Bianca for years. And Io had turned her back on Bayley earlier this year. She said they're going to implode before they even get to the ring. Bayley noted how Nia is manipulating Tiffany. Tiffany doesn't even realize it. Nia might not have any friends coming out of Wargames. So Liv said that they are a united front. She followed that up by pointing out how Jade got attacked. And boy, it's awfully convenient how a spot opened up in Wargames, and all of a sudden Bayley has found her way.
It's a daily double deal.
Yeah, but you just got to keep your eye on all that stuff. Thank you so much, Corey. We got Terrence Johnson here who says Vince couldn't make up his mind. There to Naomi while still keeping her babyface style, but I don't know, something about it just felt different. But anyways, we ended up getting the heels coming out, and it's basically just mind games, right? It's them basically pointing out that hey, we got all of our babyface.
if it was going to be Bailey. And it would make all the sense in the world for Bailey to be the attacker. I mean, even if you feel like it's too soon to turn her back heel again, I get that. That's a fair point. But in terms of like her character and the position that she's been in and the position now that she finds herself in, all the reason in the world for Bailey to want Jade to be out of the picture so that she can take her spot. I just don't think they would make it so obvious.
Coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Friday evenings, wherever you may be, man. SmackDown tonight, go home show before tomorrow's tremendous Survivor Series War Games. SmackDown didn't really do much of anything to add on top of what we're getting tomorrow night at Survivor Series outside of the most anticipated sit down, I would say, between two superstars, maybe all year in WWE, and that is Roman Reigns and CM Punk. The first time that both men have come face to face with words verbally this year in 2024, and the first time since CM Punk returned to the WWE legitimately 1 year ago at Survivor Series in 2023 at Chicago at the end of last year's War Games. We're going to get into it. I'm not going to give you guys the traditional cold open. I'm going to save all my thoughts for the dialogue when we get to CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman, who sat down in between, very Mafia style. The cinematic way that WWE shoots these things is tremendous, and I do think that it's going to be and should be a trend in all of professional wrestling, man. WWE certainly has done a great job with these cinematic vignettes and these sit-downs, these real-life adaptations between performer and performer, and it's centered around Roman Reigns specifically. The last time we saw something like this in this cinematic way was when they met at the 50-yard line in Georgia right before Bad Blood, and they met at Georgia Tech University. So they are shooting these vignettes, and Jeremy Borash, I do believe, is the one spearheading this. I think Paul Levesque and Paul Heyman obviously had a lot to do with what we saw then. I won't be surprised if it's the same individuals here for CM Punk and Roman Reigns. The way this thing was shot was tremendous. It certainly reminded me of The Godfather or Casino or Goodfellas or some type of mafia flick. And I thought what they did was tremendous. It was a tremendous piece of business. It was 5 minutes where you legitimately put your phone down, stop what you're doing, and you had to listen to everything that these guys had to say. The energy jumped off the screen with both of these guys. So I love what's going on here. And I think any doubt that WWE potentially brought to some people, oh, CM Punk, I don't think he belongs in the War Games situation with the Bloodline. I would have rather kept it 4-on-4. I don't think it makes sense.
It does make sense because of Paul Heyman.
It put all those doubters to bed tonight. And I think CM Punk and his inclusion in War Games is now number one going into tomorrow. And I do think that the tension between both Roman and CM Punk is going to be amplified tomorrow. And a story, like we already discussed, there are 5 or 6 different ways that this could go. And we discussed that all on Monday during the Raw post show. We discussed it on Tuesday with Tuesday Night Titans and the sponsor. There's a lot of different ways that they could go with this. And I am very, very excited to see what happens with CM Punk now included on Bloodline OG for War Games against Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. And that was just a tremendous piece of business. Other than that, SmackDown didn't really do much to excite me. And I'm being honest with you guys, this was not a good show. You could, again, and I understand that WWE gave the performers off for the holiday. They were traveling today, and they got Thanksgiving home with the families. So Survivor Series is tomorrow, and this was a taped show from last week's show. And because of the Thanksgiving holiday and the taped environment, As you guys know, it felt like it. It sounded like it. It was dubbed like a tape show. So there wasn't really any substantial energy jumping off the TV screen tonight like you usually see during a live broadcast. Piped in crowd noise, pre-recorded lines by Michael Cole. Everything just felt very secondary, and they didn't really do too much, being that it was a tape show and that basically everything is set going into Survivor Series, and they didn't really have to do much of anything. Punk and Roman wasn't even in front of a live audience. They taped that, I'm sure, last week and then spliced it into the show. But outside that, there wasn't really anything else on this Friday Night SmackDown to get anybody excited. Cody Rhodes wrestled, non-title match against Carmelo Hayes. Fine match for what it was, but it was just a continuation of what happened last week with Carmelo Hayes and Cody Rhodes after that tremendous one-on-one promo face-to-face with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. And when Cody Rhodes went to the back, Carmelo Hayes was snickering to his buddies, one of which was Giovanni Vinci, and he snickered under his breath that Kevin Owens is right, and Cody Rhodes overheard him. And Carmelo Hayes basically stood his ground and said, everybody in the locker room is talking about how Kevin Owens is the right one in this situation. So there was a big scuffle backstage, and, you know, we got a match this week between the two based off what happened there. So that's basically what that was. TV time filled, Cody Rhodes on TV. WWE got what they needed there. Shinsuke Nakamura and LA Knight, a random thrown together match for the United States Championship just to get LA Knight and the United States Championship on a PLE, which is fine, but there is no real substantial story going into Survivor Series for either of these men. And one has to wonder, what is going on with Nakamura? They brought him back. This is the first singles match he's had tonight against Andrade since April. Is he going to go into Survivor Series basically being used the same way that he was in his feud with Cody Rhodes, in his feud with Seth Rollins, to basically be used to prop others up around him, and not really anything substantial as far as Shinsuke Nakamura is concerned? The United States Championship gets to be on a PLE. LA Knight is on a PLE in front of 16,000, 17,000 people. WWE's going for that. But Nakamura isn't really the guy that I think everybody is hoping for as far as a story for LA Knight, who continues to do great with the United States Championship, but creative isn't all that great for LA Knight as United States Champion. Women's United States Championship tournament continues, another quarterfinal match. Before we get to the semifinals, we got one more next week, and then the semifinals will happen going into the Saturday night's main events, where we will see the United States Champion crowned, first time ever for WWE and the women's division. So we had another triple threat match tonight with Lash Legends, Michin, and Piper Niven. Tonight for Friday Night SmackDown. Not really a lot to dive into tonight, but we will spend a nice chunk of time on the CM Punk and Roman Reigns situation and talk about where all of that dialogue could potentially be going. So let's get into it, guys. I thank you very much for joining me here on the podcast. It is Friday, November 29th, 2024. Hopefully you guys had a great time.
So I like what we saw here with the Cody Carmelo match. I like to see Cody in one-on-one matches that, you know, we don't get to see very often on SmackDown. And then two, I liked that Kevin Owens made a whole lot of sense once again in his promos.
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of Drew McIntyre in a way where Drew kept feeling like he was getting screwed, and you're kind of like, well, yeah, he might kind of be getting screwed. And then he, went off the deep end of Raya with that. It's just a little different, but it gives me those sort of vibes where Kevin, you understand why Kevin Owens feels justified, even though that justification.
There was a story. Kevin Owens.
Yeah, no, it's true though. It's true, and I'm so glad that you mentioned the parallels with Drew McIntyre, because that is exactly what made that CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud a little bit more lovable. Was the fact that you were like, shit, you know what? That's not Drew McIntyre. And in this chat, I know for a fact, just talking to people overall, Robin, with regards to the Cody and Kevin Owens storyline, like there are people that are siding completely with Kevin Owens, and then there's other people that are like, I thought with Cody, but Kevin Owens is also making sense. Like, I don't think anyone here feels like Kevin Owens has not brought up some good points at one one point or another. Alrighty, let's go ahead and continue on. I want to get into the Jey Uso Jacob Fatu match because that is what closed out the main event of SmackDown here tonight. Both sides, by the way, from Wargames were banned from ringside. Thank you so much to Nick Aldis. He's a smart GM, like him as a GM. This was a fun match. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." We got to see Jacob Fatu hit some of his little agile moves where he did like this springboard into a standing moonsault that everybody was like, "Oh shit!" I'm so sure he's done that here in WWE already. But it definitely got a really nice reaction for sure. Samoan Spike onto the commentary table to Jey Uso. But eventually we do end up seeing Jacob Fatu get the win. So we're seeing the heels, the new bloodline, going into Wargames with the advantage. And I love that. I always love when the heels go into Wargames with the advantage. I just think it tells a better story.
Well, and look, we're still in protecting Jacob Fatu, right? Like, he has that aura of invincibility. And Jey Uso, I mean, other than that Intercontinental title run, he's done a lot to help other people in this group with his popularity. Because I mentioned this to my son when we were watching. I was like, "Oh, clean," and he said, "What do you mean by clean?" I was like, "Oh, no interference. Nobody came and cost him. You know, it was just Jacob Fatu being clean in the middle of the ring 1, 2, 3 with his arsenal of moves, which keeps that aura of Jacob Fatu going, which then carries over into the Wargames match because when Jacob Fatu enters, you're like, oh, here he comes, the Samoan werewolf, which keeps that going towards when he eventually has a confrontation with Roman Reigns one-on-one. You know, it's protecting what they built with Jacob Fatu in the first.
No, that is true. And I feel like I've been saying this like a whole bunch, but there's still a long laundry list, Robin, of people that I want to see Jacob Fatu face. And Jey Uso was definitely one of them. Having the singles match was so much fun, and there's still so many more that I want to see him hit. I liked him getting these wins. I liked him being the one. I kind of felt like going into the match, I feel like he was going to win. Like you said, they're still building him up. There's still that aura that people are in awe of him. And I just kind of feel like we're in the right direction to go. Anthony Giuliano sends in a super chat
again,
saying,
it's squads.
doesn't like Jey because she's holding her down in the tag team division. Jade Spear and Bianca is not in the main event scene. Look, again, this to me just sounds like a rumor. Welcome.
$5 shipping and handling. Blue Chew. 5. Great. My log could potentially be going. So let's get into it, guys. I thank you very much for joining me here on the podcast. It is Friday, November 29th, 2024. Hopefully you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys rested and relaxed. Hopefully you guys got your shopping done. This is the first singles match he's had tonight against Andrade since
they have Thunderdome screens like right there behind them. Seats were empty. And Roman Reigns and Jey Uso were beating the piss out of Kevin Owens, and they throw him off the stands, whatever, the bleachers, the stands, and he tumbles, 12 or 15 feet down from a couple of tables. They tried to kill him. This is what Kevin Owens was talking about in his promo last night. Like, you agreed at Bad Blood to team with a man who tried to end my career. This is one of the ways that he tried to end Kevin Owens' career. They threw him off the stands down from 2 tables.
It makes sense to turn Kevin Owens heel. He does make some good points. And Cody Rhodes needs a big star. He needs a big opponent. A big huge feud. We should have gotten Nick Cody Rhodes after he won the fucking title.
And they show
he's only wrestled 2 people twice. I just want you guys to be aware. Cody Rhodes has only had 3 big feuds in a title with AJ Styles, Solo Sikoa, and now Kevin Owens. Those are the 3 big feuds he had. He wasn't in twice. And that's the total story. AJ Styles, they had a story. Solo, they had a story. And Kevin Owens, we have a story.
Here in the promo, Kevin Owens says he tried to run me down with a golf cart, but I got back up. So then they cut the Royal Rumble.
For the advertising for Sunday. Yeah, Cody Rhodes on pay-per-view.
That was when Roman defended the championship again against Kevin Owens. They were at the Alamo Dome. And after the match was over,
what'd you say to
they
me?
got Owens tied up in the ropes. And Roman ordered the Usos to super kick him repeatedly. So Jimmy and Jay just kept super kicking him. He's tied up in the ropes. He's helpless. There's nobody there to assist him.
Dude, what'd you say to me?
And he points out that that same night, actually the beginning of the show that night, they had the men's Royal Rumble match. Cody Rhodes was there that night. He even won. He was there. Where was he? Right? He didn't come out to help. He didn't come out to help break things up and even things out a little bit. He said those are just 3 examples to show us why Cody Rhodes deserves everything that he has coming to him at Saturday night's main event, when he turns the American Nightmare into the Canadian Dream. This was great. This was great storytelling here. I love the callbacks in their history here to illustrate why Kevin Owens thinks that he's right. He makes a very compelling argument. As he told us last week, this is a man who tried to end my career, not only throwing him out of the stands, trying to run him down with a golf cart. This is a man who tormented Kevin Owens at every possible turn, screwed him out of the WWE Championship at every possible turn for years.
I'm gonna main event WrestleMania
And as he points
against
out,
Gunther.
Roman Reigns
Against
stood with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes stood with Roman Reigns in
against
Atlanta
Gunther.
last month in Bad Blood.
And the
And
person
Kevin
that I'm
Owens is
gonna
the bad
main
guy.
event WrestleMania on night
So
1
this did a
against
great job, I thought, of
the
establishing
Angry
not only
Joe.
why Owens thinks
The
he's
Angry
right, but
Joe.
honestly, he is.
Gunther.
He's not wrong in anything that he said. Then they cut to a graphic to promote the match for Saturday night's main event. And they used I don't know if you noticed, they used the old music in the background. I'm not talking about Obsession. I'm talking about the next song that came after Obsession that they used for many years, that instrumental
But the one
music, Jim
that's
Johnston.
taking your main event
And
from
they played that in the background as Michael Cole, narrated the plug for the show. There's a voice that says, "Wait for more." Let's be about
And not believe Cargill got attacked, and it's suspicious not be able to hide behind anyone because there is nowhere to run inside the Wargames cage. Morgan responded by saying she's going to break Rhea Ripley's face on.
To me, is the heel in this.
I like going there. I made Kofi turn on Xavier Woods. Big E aligned with Xavier Woods as a heel manager.
I wouldn't want to boo Big E, especially with all the shit he's going through. Oh my god, that would be so nuts. But okay, there you go, Terrence. It gave you 2 totally different answers. Terrence, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, and I think I kind of went through everything. Actually, there's 2 more things to get into
I have
for
a
SmackDown,
feeling
so
that
we'll
this
just get right
dynamic
through them really quickly.
we
But
may
we
get
had
Lesnar
Tommaso
Levy.
Ciampa
If
basically
Lesnar comes back,
telling
yeah, we're gonna get that match.
Johnny Gargano that he doesn't want to be a loser. He does not want to be a loser at all. And he's telling
Well, it
Johnny,
will
hey, you
happen.
got
Now this is
one
on the Vince McMahon, so
basically figure out
Roman
what you
Reigns
want to
tested
do.
positive for
And if you
COVID.
don't figure
Brock
it
Lesnar
out,
won the
we're
belt,
gonna
and as soon as he won the belt, then they teased Bobby
I
Lashley.
mean, look, they've
Oh
been
yeah,
kind of
they're coming
going
up the
in that
Rumble.
direction,
I
right?
made it
Because
3.
eventually, there's a lot of scenes of breakups and turns and everything so far. There's another one on a smaller scale.
Yeah. Alrighty. Last thing we need to get into is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Andrade. The big thing that happened here was obviously Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Andrade. They kind of just fed Andrade 2 minutes into their victory ahead of Survivor Series. But on top of that, Shinsuke Nakamura hits his mist on LA Knight, and LA Knight gets misted all with black mist. Did you like this, Robin?
I kind of did. And look, Shinsuke, I think I talked about this. I couldn't remember the last time he won a match. So, I mean, it doesn't really do much for the long-term prospects, but at least going into Wargames, it's like, okay, the guy, is coming off of a win. You're building him up a little bit for the purposes of what you're doing here. And this thing always works in the context of that. So it's just such a good visual that you don't see that often. Like, you've seen it enough over the years from not only just Shinsuke, but before him. And you've seen it enough where you have like okay, the mist, but it's not overdone, so it still feels like something that happened.
wish it didn't happen so fast because I didn't even see it until LA Knight fell backwards and then I saw it on his face. Like I didn't actually see when Shinsuke did it because it didn't have like a big splatter or anything like that. And so it just kind of felt like it happened so fast and it wasn't as explosive as we usually see when the mist is. Like we usually see like the whole spray coming out. We didn't really see it with this one until LA Knight obviously showed his face. But yeah, that's where we're at with this. Alright, so tomorrow, guys, is Survivor Series War Games. We got 5 matches, of course, that we're going to be watching. Really quickly, Robin, let's do some quick winner predictions for Survivor Series. Tomorrow, of course, Robin and I will be here to do a post show. I'll be here to do a watch along, so we watch along, and then Robin will join me for the post show tomorrow for Survivor Series. All right, here we go. Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. What do you got, Robin?
Braun Breaker, I think they've done too much to build him up too fast to not do that.
I second you. I also think Braun Breaker will retain. Next match, United States Championship, LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
LA Knight.
I also got LA Knight. I don't want to see Shinsuke Nakamura defeated. Women's War Game match, Rhea Ripley, Bianca, Bayley, Naomi, Io versus Liv, Nia, Raquel, Tiffany, and Candice. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with the Liv team. Because I flipped in the other one. So I don't see both babyface Bloodline or both babyface War Games teams winning or both heel teams winning. And I've changed my mind on the other one. So I'll go with the heel.
All right, so I didn't change my mind on the men's one because I was always going for Roman's team. And so, yes, because I'm expecting the baby faces and the men's to win, I'm going also with Team Liv Morgan for the War Games matches. I do second you on that. I don't think they'll do 2 baby face teams winning for this particular War Games. So, World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus Demon Priest. What do you got?
I mean, I probably think Gunther, but I'm going to say Damian Priest because we're not on the same page on everyone, and we need a little bit of a surprise, right? So it's not out of the question.
I'm sticking with Gunther because I'm expecting to see Gunther versus CM Punk at some point for that World Heavyweight Championship. So that's why I'm going with Gunther. And then last but not least, I just said it. You just said it. You switched over to Roman Reigns' team
because of the Punk Roman promo. That's why. Because I feel like the way that was set up, they win, but then you put the friction in right after they win. At first, I thought Seth Rollins might come out and cost it, and maybe that still happens. So I can see that happening. But the way that was done tonight, I kind of wonder if that alliance works for that one match. But then they immediately, put the friction into the alliance that lets you know that was a one-night affair that's building towards more.
All right, I've been Team Roman the whole time, guys. I do not want to see them lose to Solo's team. All right, I'm sorry. As much as I love Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed and all of that, Team Roman for sure. All righty, everyone. Well, there you guys have it. That was our Friday night SmackDown post show. Again, do not forget, tomorrow I will be back. War Games Watch Along. Robin and I will be doing a War Games post show. Do not forget to subscribe. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming to the channel starting next month. So really just in a couple of days. Really quickly, December 1st, I start WrestleMania. December 1st through December 31st, you will be seeing a daily video drop here on the channel. Please come out and support and watch those videos. They are going to be a lot of work to do. And then December 2nd, that is when I begin my Raw post shows here on my own channel with Santi Zap, who will be my co-host for that. So make sure you guys start tuning in December 2nd for that. Alrighty, Robin, what do you got going on?
I'll see y'all tomorrow on War Games.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much. Keep enjoying your holidays, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Download Epic Deal.
I'm gonna cave your face in so bad.
Hold on.
Alex also normally has a Rampage watch along going on while he's reviewing SmackDown as well.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
No, I didn't mean right now. I mean on normal weeks. That's what
I'm normal, but I'm saying I was supposed to take the whole night off, but we were supposed to stay an extra night at the hotel, but sleeping arrangement.
I think was the women's triple threat Lash Legend.
See, he had a new phone. I don't think he had my number. I think a new phone.
Of course, the winner of this match goes to the finals at Saturday night's main event for the Women's United States Championship. Mia Yim won.
Okay, he's a jackass. He is the same person he was when he was the champion, and he was running roughshod all over this entire company. Nothing different about Roman Reigns. Treating Paul Heyman like crap. Probably didn't even pick up the phone and call the man. He was all laid up after he got beat up by the other Bloodline. But Heyman turns to him and says, my tribal chief, Solo, had them in checkmate since the Friday after WrestleMania. If they don't accept Punk's help, it's all over. And he said to Punk, if you don't help tomorrow night, and Solo puts it into the Bloodline, you're next. Said Solo is going to come after you because Solo knows that you are the threat. Heyman said respectfully,
Maybe the
both of them
PS5, but might be too expensive.
divided, we all fall to Solo. United at best.
Maybe the PS5, but it might be too expensive.
Punk told Roman, you don't like my attitude? I don't care. I don't like you. Doesn't matter. I'm not here for you. I'm here
Nah,
for
I think
Paul.
I might get it for the PS5.
You want your Ula Fala back?
Maybe the
I want my
PS5, but it's too
scouts.
expensive.
I want my revenge for what Solo and his crew did to my friend. Exactly what I was talking about last week. If we survive Wargames, you want to revisit this conversation? Just me and you? I'm all
I never
ears.
did anything.
Roman said,
I only won a new game.
one time. Punk said, one time.
After one by myself.
One favor. Roman asked, I owe you a favor? Punk said, no. You don't owe me anything. Said, my friend, our wise man, he will owe me a favor.
After one by
And with that,
myself.
Punk got up and he walked off. So that left Roman and Heyman, and Roman turns to the wise man
After
here
one
and he
by
says, wise
myself.
man. Yes, my tribal chief. What's the favor? Heyman says, my tribal chief, let's get through Wargames tomorrow night, and then we'll have all the time in the world to talk about it. He didn't want to tell Roman Reigns
Good.
what that favor was.
What the fuck you telling me for?
This was excellent. This was a cinematic segment, very much like the one that Roman and Cody had before their tag team match at Bad Blood last month. Not as overproduced as that one was. There were no overhead drone shots or anything like that here. But at the end, the very end of the segment, what do we have here? We have Roman Reigns scolding Paul Heyman, just like old times, scolding his wise man. We had Paul Heyman looking down nervously, playing around with his Hall of Fame ring, not even really wanting to make eye contact, although at the very end he did. He finally looked up at Roman, he's very, very meek. And that's how the segment ends. The last time Paul Heyman asked Punk for a favor, you remember this goes back to June. Right? When I was talking last week about the history that led us to this point. The week before Heyman was attacked at Madison Square Garden, he stood in the ring with CM Punk. They had a reunion. And Paul Heyman said, I have a favor to ask of you. Punk said, what's that favor? And Heyman said, take me with you. But that was Heyman asking Punk for a favor. This is different. This is CM Punk asking Paul Heyman for a favor. There's going to be some kind of favor that he's going to cash in at some point. What that favor is, we don't know. Roman Reigns is no longer a champion. Roman Reigns doesn't have anything to offer. You would think maybe there's a title opportunity or something. There's no titles. None of the Bloodline members at this moment have champions. And again, they're all on different shows anyway. Punk's on Raw, Roman's on SmackDown. Not that that matters anymore, but they're on different brands. But there's no obvious favor that you could point to and say, okay, it's this or it's that. It would be easier to say if Roman was still champion, but he's not. So we don't know what that favor is that he's referring to. But now we have Paul Heyman here playing both sides. And Paul Heyman is a very duplicitous human being. Paul Heyman is not somebody that you can trust. We are heading into a pay-per-view tomorrow night that has a history where Paul Heyman has betrayed people before. Okay, this would not be, if let's say that happened tomorrow, it certainly would not be the first time that Paul Heyman has betrayed someone at the Survivor Series. This is a man, it's all about self-preservation with this Paul Heyman character, right? He will say and do whatever it takes to make sure that he protects himself at the end of the day. Like, he may be a huge baby face right now where when he comes out, the people are cheering and they're chanting, my name is Paul Heyman. Like, they love it. He's a baby face. Heyman as a baby face just feels wrong to me. Like, this can't go on for that long. You can have a little honeymoon period here, but Paul Heyman at his core is a heel. He's a heel. And he's going to be a heel again. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When does that happen? I don't know if that happens tomorrow. Maybe it does, maybe it does. I honestly don't know. And that's kind of what I like about this now. There's a lot of different ways this can go, and I don't know what direction it's going to go in. We all have our theories. We could all sit here all night and we can come up with, ways that this could all play out. Just with Heyman alone, let alone the finish of the match. So I don't know what they're going to do, but that future Roman Reigns CM Punk match with Heyman caught in the middle. He's got his loyalty to Roman Reigns. He's got his loyalty to CM Punk. Where's he gonna fall? Which side is he gonna fall on? Right? I love you. Entire program that match is going to be huge, and it's going to make for a great I love you. Where does Paul Heyman's loyalty lie? You are not my Which side of the fence is he going to end up on? When we do get the inevitable match between these two men, it could be SummerSlam next year, right? Imagine a SummerSlam doubleheader where we have Roman Reigns against CM Punk, and we have John Cena challenging for title number 17, World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. Or maybe wrestling Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. But either way, he's going for title number 17. What a doubleheader main event that would be. Actually, do we have 2 nights of SummerSlam next year? Or is that starting in 2026? You know what? We don't even know. We don't even know for sure if SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights next year, do we? I know it's 2 nights in 2026. That doesn't mean it won't be next year, then. So I'm not, it will work out even better that way. You can have one main event on each night. Well, what a doubleheader that would be. But that's going to be a big deal. And what we're seeing here is just this is just their, again, planting little breadcrumbs here for us. We're going to look back on this 6 months from now and say, okay, this is where it really all began. And it's going to build to a much bigger match down the road. That's why Punk is in Wargames. It's not a one and done. He's in Wargames for a reason. This was great. I thought this was great television.
But that is exactly what happened. He said Cody was in the building. He did not come out. He did not help. Just another log onto the fire there by Kevin Owens, man.
I probably should end the video earlier. I won't make it too long, but I think I'll end the video. Until next time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I think I made the video long enough. I talked about SmackDown. I talked about the prediction for Survivor Series tomorrow night. Now, there wasn't that much to talk about for the news and rumors, I don't think. Besides AEW Fallout, the show wasn't that good. And the news and rumors, Tony Khan planned to keep Ray Finn in AEW prison. He keeps him behind bars. Well, guess I'll end the video. I'll see y'all later.